Good morning. If you clicked on this video, then this is most likely a message that you need to hear. Okay. So this morning, I got up and, I felt the urge to post this video for you guys because I kept being reminded of a video that I posted the other day and something that God specifically said to me in the spirit, which I recorded in a video the other day. What God specifically said was, keep your heart upright. You deserve better. You deserve better. And I specifically spoke on, how despite what you're going through in life and no matter what's going on, the importance of keeping your heart upright, because keeping your heart upright is ultimately what's going to open doors for you, positive doors, good doors of breakthroughs and blessings and everything that God desires you to have and everything that is according to his will for your life and everything your heart desires as well, right? And you have to understand that because God does not reward negative behavior and God does not condone wickedness and God does not condone, blessing and blessing a sin. Once your heart is not upright and once you become someone that you're not because of the emotional damage that people may have caused you, or the emotional abuse or physical abuse or verbal abuse or spiritual abuse that people may have implemented in your life, once you let your heart become bitter and cold and you turn to someone that you're not, you can ultimately self-sabotage the breakthroughs and the restoration that God has up ahead for you, right? Because the upright are blessed. They're always blessed. And there's scriptures about this. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. That's in Matthew. There's another scripture. It's in Psalm. I don't remember exactly what the book is. I think it's Psalm 119 or something like that. But it talks about how, God's chosen, those who are chosen are blessed and they are upright, right? Something relating to that. I'm not saying it verbatim exactly how it says, but I know it speaks about, the chosen and God blessing the upright, okay? The generation, God blessing the generation of the upright, something relating to that, right? And that is because you have to have a good heart. Well, I just want to say this to you guys. You deserve so much better. You deserve the best. But I want to tell you guys how important it is to love yourself, how important it is to understand that you need to show this type of love to yourself first before anybody else can. And I want you to remember that your body is a temple and the Holy Spirit resides in that temple. So you have to understand that you mistreating yourself, you not feeling that you deserve better, you allowing people to mistreat you, or you wanting to continue to associate or be around those who mistreat you, and you not being loyal to yourself, that is you punishing your temple. You get what I'm saying? That is you punishing your temple. If God sees you as the main cornerstone who was once rejected, and God is saying that your body is a temple and he resides in that temple and you have to cherish that temple, that also means your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health, everything relating to you. That does not mean you are selfish. It's okay to love yourself and to take care of yourself. You have to understand something. The same loyalty that you have given many people that did not even deserve this loyalty, that loyalty should be given to yourself as well. You get what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, many people are loyal to people who neglect them, reject them, mistreat them. Many people are loyal to people who don't even care about them, who are loyal to people who will hurt them without even thinking twice. Or before they go and hurt them, they think about what they're doing and they know, if I go do this right now, I'm going to hurt this person if I do this. But they still do it and hurt you. They still do it and hurt you, which confirms that they don't have loyalty, which confirms that your emotions, your feelings did not matter to them, right? But then you are loyal to these people who have done this to you, and you have not been loyal to yourself. And you have to understand that your temple is where the Holy Spirit resides. And you have to understand that if God cherishes you and God loves you, you have to show yourself that same respect, that same loyalty. Okay, you have to remember that you can't force people to love you. You can't force people to treat you good. You can't force people to respect you. But what you can do is you can love you. You can respect you. You can be loyal to you. You can cherish you, which is yourself, right? You can do that. And that is so important. And I just want to say that, don't you guys notice that as soon as, you know, you realize that you are a child of God and that you are chosen from God, all of a sudden people want to choose you. Even the very people that originally did not choose you, now they all of a sudden want to choose you because you are chosen from God. Now you are ultimately now their first choice because you are chosen from God when you were not their first choice before. And I'm talking about, you've been given this loyalty and love to friends who did not once cherish your friendship, who did not even see you worthy of respect. You gave this loyalty to family members who not one time loved you or respected you and saw you deserving of love and thought to themselves, I should reciprocate the same type of loyalty and respect that my son or my daughter or my cousin or my aunt or my uncle or my grandmother who is giving me. Not one time did they think this. Relationship aspect, same situation. The exes that you have chosen in the past, you have chosen them and you are loyal to them and you were loyal to them. And not one time did they have the same respect for you. You see what I'm saying? But all of a sudden now people see that God has his hand on your life and you are chosen by God. Now everybody wants to choose you. But can I tell you something? You can't expect anyone to choose you other than God unless you start to choose yourself. Because even if you don't choose yourself, God chose you. That's why I said other than God. You can't expect anyone other than God. But because God chose you, you have to choose yourself now. You have to understand that whatever witchcraft you are fighting, whatever warfare you are fighting, no matter who is trying to hold you down, you got to love yourself enough to say, God, I'm willing to fight and I'm going to fight every day. I understand God says, be still and I will fight for you. Exodus 14 verse 14, right? And this is the truth. But there's other fighting mechanisms that God may want us to do. And I don't even know if mechanism is the word, but you know what I mean? Like, fighting does not mean getting up and retaliating and getting revenge and going after your enemies. Fighting back is simply, God, I know you're covering me. I know they're draining my energy right now. I know they're trying to hold me back right now. I know they're trying to slow me down right now. But despite how I'm feeling, God, and despite what they're trying to do to me, God, I'm going to get up and I'm going to get my house together. I'm going to get up and get organized. I'm going to get up and show up to work. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do something to myself to make myself feel a little bit more better. As in, I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to do a skincare routine. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to shave my legs, my arms. You know, I'm shaving my beard. I'm going to really just take good care and pamper myself because I deserve it. Because I got to fight to take care of this temple, and I'm going to take care of this temple that you reside in, Lord. The people that attack you guys, what it is they don't feel like you deserve the things that God has preserved for you. That's the thing. They feel like you don't deserve it. And the reason why they don't feel like you deserve it is because they don't have respect for you and they don't love you. But if you sit there and you literally allow them to keep you in the bed, allow them to get you depressed and get you down, allow them to play mind games with you, the more, even people that don't attack you with witchcraft, but people in general that just mistreat you, if you allow them to get to you in that level, in that sense, where they're affecting your mind, they're affecting your heart, they're affecting your spirit, you are giving them what they want. You have to let any pain that anyone has caused you, you have to let it fuel you. Not because you're trying to prove a point to them, because you don't gotta prove anything to these people. They don't even deserve for you to even prove anything to them. Let God do that. Let God be the vindicator. Let God vindicate you. Let God do the proving. That's the whole point. If I will prep a table in the presence of your enemies, because that is what God is going to do. God didn't say you are going to prep a table in the presence of your enemy. God said, I am going to prep a table in the presence of your enemy. All you have to do is sit at that table. That's it. Right? You don't got to prove anything to these people. But what you do got to do is you do got to fight, and you got to do these things for you. You got to do these things for you. You got to know that you are here in this life, and you're not going to waste it away. And you deserve to fulfill every single thing that God has called you to fulfill. Every single desire of your heart that God has approved for you to have. You got to say to yourself, you deserve it. And you are going to go after it, despite what anybody thinks or what anybody says. Because you deserve it. You deserve better. Every single thing that people try to take from you, that people have done to you, let that fuel you. Again, not to prove a point to them, but because you deserve better. Let it fuel you to get better, to receive better. Let it fuel you to fight. If somebody's doing witchcraft and trying to mess with your finances, go harder at work. Let that be proof that you deserve more financial breakthroughs. If somebody broke your heart and didn't pick you, didn't choose you, did not see you as their person, did not see you as their wife or their husband, and went after someone else, let that push you to have a better heart. Let that push you to be the best wife, the best husband to whoever God brings in your life. You love them harder than you've ever loved anybody else before. If somebody, terminated you from work unfairly and you know you deserve better, let that fuel you to go into your own business. Let that fuel you to start your business and work for yourself. And before you know it, you're going to have a better and bigger company than they did. It's time for you to love yourself, and anything that people do to mistreat you, you give yourself 10 times more of what they've done to you. If your family abandoned you, rejected you, mistreated you, treated you like a scapegoat, and didn't give you nothing, you give yourself more. You treat yourself better than how they treated you. You use that as fuel to fight, to be the generational curse breaker of the family, to be the first millionaire in your family, to be the first graduate in your family. You let that fuel you to be the best you can be, not for them, but for you, because you deserve it, because what you went through, you did not deserve. You did not deserve it. And this is not to make you feel like a victim, but this is to show you the strength of the Holy Spirit who is within you. This is to show you the strength and why a testimony is a testimony and why it is not a testimony without a test. Because the test is meant to fuel you. It is meant to fuel you. That is why. That is why. But you have to believe, and you have to have faith, and you have to understand what you deserve to be able to go after it, to be able to receive it. You know why I don't have a problem when God says it's okay for me to buy something for myself? You know why I don't have a problem? Going to Sephora and buying lip gloss and buying some makeup here and there, even though I don't have to wear it, even though I don't need it. I know I don't need it. I know I'm beautiful without it. And I have days where I don't wear makeup. But you know why sometimes I put myself together? Because I know I deserve to put myself together in some days. I know I can make myself look put together. You know why I get myself nice things when I have the chance to? When I do make extra income and God says, yeah, go buy yourself this. You know why I do that? Because I grew up watching my sibling receive nice clothes, new clothes. while I went to school with holes in my shoes, while I wore secondhand me-downs from shelters, donated clothes, while my brother got brand new clothes at the stores. And because of that, I learned how to treat myself good. And guess what? Now I give myself more because I deserve it. And because my heart is upright, God blesses me to where I can provide for myself, and I can also give my children more than what I received growing up. That's what I mean when I say, let these things fuel you. Don't let it break you. Don't let it destroy your spirit. Let it fuel you. Let it fuel you. If you are mistreated from your parents, you be the best mother and father you can be to your children. You get what I'm saying? This is what I mean when I say a test is supposed to train you and prep you for the testimony. And the test is supposed to fuel you and strengthen you. Don't ever let a test break you. Don't ever let another person's words about you break you. Don't ever let a person's dislike for you break you. If anything, love yourself more because they dislike you. If they don't trust you, trust yourself more because they don't trust you. If they're not loyal to you, be loyal to yourself more because they're not loyal to you. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's not selfish because your body is a temple. The Holy Spirit resides within you. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself because the Lord loves you. But you have to also see yourself worthy of it. This is why as soon as your confidence is built, as soon as you're strong now, as soon as you're walking with your head up high, your head ain't down no more, as soon as you know your value and your worth, this is why everybody tries to come back in your life. This is why everybody wants to come back and reconcile with you. Because they want to be around the confident you. Because they want to be around the successful you. They want to be around the healing you or the healed you. They want to be around the gifted you. They want to be around the anointed you. But you see, they didn't see all this back in the day. And this is why some people, they're unable to face you today. You know why? Because they feel bad. They're unable to face you today because they know that before they did the things that they did, they knew what they were doing. They knew it was wrong, but they still went and did it. And this is why they can't face you and they can't look at you because they know that you deserve better. They know you're a good person. They know you got a good heart. They know you meant nothing but well for them. They know this. And that's why they can't face you. So just because someone don't apologize to you or someone don't talk to you, don't mean that they don't know what they did to you. They know what they did to you. But not everybody has the strength and the courage to look you in your face and look in your eyes after what they did to you. People want to judge you because you are looking out for yourself, because you love yourself, because you are loyal to yourself, because you stick up for yourself. If people are judging you because you take care of yourself, let them judge you. Because people don't understand the lives of other people. People just look at someone and they just judge them based on that. But they will never see what a person has gone through to get them to a position that they're in today. You can look at someone who works extremely hard and never really had much in their life, but they're working extremely hard and they're successful. And you're probably wondering, why does this person always go hard? Why are they always working? Why are they always saving? Why are they not going out and spending their money, recklessly? Or why are they not doing this? Why? They may look at a person like that as stingy, not realizing that the person that is working hard and stacking and saving money is doing this because they grew up in poverty, because they grew up always not having enough or not having anything. And they grew up, alone, independent. They may have had to raise themselves from since they were a child. They may have had to do things for themselves and never really had a parent there, never had a family member there, never had anyone that came in and stepped up and said, let me take care of you. And because they never really had that type of support, they have to make sure that they are spending wisely, working as much as they can, saving as much as they can because they have a goal. Because if they're ever in need or something ever happens, all they have to do is rely on God and rely on what they have to take care of themselves, because they may have went through a situation where they couldn't rely on nobody. But people may not see that side. They may just see the person as a workaholic. This person just works a lot. I don't ever see them doing this and doing that. They may think you're stingy because you don't go out and do certain things, but they don't understand the background behind it. Let them judge. Because at the end of the day, your heart, as long as your heart is upright, your motives are good, okay. Another example of this is, when you've been independent your whole life and you're always doing things on your own, right? And you may go into a relationship, but you may have a big heart. You may love your wife or love your husband. You may be there for them. You do everything a wife is supposed to do. You do everything a husband is supposed to do. But the wife or the husband may look at you like, how come you don't ever ask me to buy you things or expect for me to buy you things, and you don't request that, or you have a hard time accepting things from me? And they may not understand that you may have been the kind of person that every time someone gave you something, they threw it in your face, they took it back, and all of that stuff. So now that you're in a relationship, it's very hard for you to always accept things from your partner because of what you went through, right? Especially if it's someone from the past that did this to you already and may have even gave you something and taken it. I know a past relationship I had, my ex bought me something and took it right back. Took it right back from me because he was mad at me. And because of that, I always had this mentality of, okay, buy things for yourself. And if anybody wants to buy you anything, they don't have to. You're not going to ask them to or request for them to, but if they do, fine. But I always had this thing of don't depend on people, because every single person that has given me things in my past has always thrown it in my face and try to make it seem like, oh, you just wanted to use me, or you just wanted this from me, you just wanted that from me. And they will take what they've given me back away from me and make it seem like I'm this horrible person, I don't deserve what they gave me. So because of that, I have this mentality now of, I don't ask people for things. I don't look for people to give me things, because I try to get things on my own, and I get it through God. God will bless me and I will get it. But if you buy me something, if you buy me a gift, fine, thank you so much, I'll accept it. But I always have this mentality of, I'm not requiring anything from you materialistically or financially or anything, because I do not want to be kicked out of anybody's house like I've been kicked out of houses my whole life. I want to make sure that I have some sort of say so over my home, over my car, over everything, because I don't want anyone to be able to kick me out of a car, kick me out of a home. I've had experiences where people have kicked me out of a car, kicked me out of homes, where I've been homeless because people have kicked me out of homes, threw garbage bags in the hallways after they kicked me out. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why I say you can go through if you go through something traumatic, you don't have to let that, dictate your life and let it turn you bitter and turn you cold. You can still have an upright heart, but still be cautious, especially if it is someone coming back from your past that may have done certain things to you. They cannot come back in your life and ask you why you have your wall up or why you are extra guarded. They have to, if they're going to come back in your life and God says they have to come back in your life, or it's someone that, like Joseph's reconciled with his brothers, if it's someone that comes back, of course, be nice to them. Do not be bitter. Do not have any grudge. Do not have any, all of that. But that does not mean that you don't have to be cautious. That does not mean that, they don't have to prove themselves. If anybody comes back in your life and they've verbally abused you, emotionally abused you, physically abused, or anything like that, and God says, okay, you have to reconcile with your family, or you have to reconcile with this person because they've changed, etc. They still have a responsibility to prove to you that whatever they've done in the past, that they're sorry for it and that they're not going to do it again. A good analogy of this is, let's just say that you grew up in an abusive family or something like that, right? And because of that, you've taught yourself to not put your hands on people, to not even hit your kids if you have kids, or not your future kids if you don't have kids yet, or whatever, right? So let's just say that God told you to reconcile with the parent that physically used to abuse you. And now in your adult years, let's just say you're around this parent, and every time you go around them, it's like whenever they raise their hand to like say hi to someone, or they're raising their hands to pick something up, you flicker. You always flicking, like you're like, they can't get mad at you and because you flicker. They can't tell you, oh, you don't trust me, you have trust issues, and start getting mad at you for that when they were the cause of that. Do you get what I'm saying? So what they would have to do is they would have to literally prove themselves to you. And you flickering does not mean that you're a horrible person. It does not mean that you're, you know what I mean, that you're not upright in the heart. It just means that they have a responsibility to prove to you that they're not that same person. Even though God said, hey, they've changed, let them in your life, etc., right? That may be something that they still have responsibility to prove that they're not the same person. It's no different from somebody having a criminal record, and somebody in the past may have kept robbing stores and robbing banks, and then they go to court for trial, and they have to prove themselves to the judge that when the judge lets them back outside for parole, or lets them back out and does not give them time to serve, they would have to prove to the judge that they are trustworthy and that what they did in the past they're not going to do again. Don't let people make you feel bad for if you have to look out for yourself, or you are expecting them to take some sort of responsibility, especially if it is someone that is trying to re-enter your life and God has approved for them to come in your life. It's okay for you to be expecting them to take responsibility. It's okay for you to even request that, especially if you are someone that has done the work to heal, done the work to grow, and you are someone that's looking out for yourself, and that you respect yourself enough, you value yourself enough to want and need people to prove themselves to you. That's okay. They can't expect you to just open the door and act like things are normal, especially if it's someone that hurt you in the past. If it's a new person, it's very important for you to explain to them that everything that you're doing is out of a good place in your heart, and explain to them the things that you've endured as well, to let them know, yeah, maybe this is why I'm a little bit guarded. I'm going to work on letting my guard down. Maybe this is why I'm going through this, but I'm going to work on it. It's very good to communicate with people, especially if it's someone that's new, that's entering your life. The point of the matter is, anything that anyone has done to hurt you in your past, you do better for yourself, because you deserve it. Because you deserve it. You have to understand that you are literally walking the word of your life, of your testimony right now. Just like Esther walked the word of her life, her testimony. Just like Daniel walked the word of his life, his testimony. Just like David walked the life of his word, his life, his testimony. You have to understand that you deserve better. And you have to see and know that you are worthy of better. And you have to make that decision every single day, all over again, every day, that you're going to go after better. And you're not going to be happy every day. You're going to have ups and downs every day. There's going to be days where you break down and you cry because you think about how you've been treated. And you have all right to do that. No one can tell you how to feel when it comes to having a broken heart. Someone trying to break your mind, someone trying to break your spirit. No one has the right to tell you how you should heal and when you should heal. But again, don't let it break you to where you destroy your own self because of the actions and the words of others. You let it strengthen you. You cry for a whole day if you need to cry. You weep, but you make sure that when you are weeping and you are weeping and crying to God. You make sure that you are putting your burdens down at his feet so he can uplift you after you cry them tears. You make sure that after you cry them tears, you keep going. You keep going. Don't let it affect you to where you're down. You keep going, and you have to understand that these tears are not for vain. You have to make sure that you make that decision to tell yourself, I'm not crying for no reason. I didn't go through this heartbreak for no reason. I didn't go through this physical abuse for no reason. I didn't go through this emotional abuse for no reason. I didn't go through this spiritual abuse for no reason. I went through it because it was a test, and it has prepped me for my testimony. And I'm not going to let other people rob me of my testimony. That's the mindset that you have to have. You can't let people rob you to the point where you sulk all day and depressed all day, gaining weight, losing weight, up and down in weight. Because a man broke your heart, because a woman broke your heart, because a family member broke your heart, because a friend broke your heart. They don't deserve to have that type of effect on you. You're a child of God. Let that fuel you and hop in the gym. Let that fuel you and start eating healthy. Let that fuel you and go into a liquid fast. Let that fuel you to finish your fast. Let that fuel you to strengthen your prayer life. Let that fuel you to read the word. Let that fuel you to go after your dreams and write down every single thing you wanted to achieve that you thought was robbed from you but was not robbed from you. Let that be the fuel to keep going in this race. Let that be the fuel to fight the good fight. Let that be the fuel, because you deserve better. Let them all watch you from the sidelines from a distance. Let them all watch you from a distance. They didn't see you as worthy then. They shouldn't see you as worthy now. You get what I'm saying? And if they decide to come back and apologize to you, and it's according to God's will, let them do that. You hold no bitterness in your heart. You keep your heart upright. You hold no grudge, no vengeance, no revenge in your heart. You keep your heart upright. Don't let people who did not see your value, who did not love you, who did not respect you, do not let them have such an effect on you that it affects the way your heart is. Don't let them rob you of the only thing, the key that can get you in the doors that the Lord has waiting for you. Don't let them rob you. And that's why I say you have to understand your worth and you have to know that you deserve better. You have to know that. Let the people that are mocking you, let them mock you. Let them mock you. Let them mock you in the physical, let them mock you in the spiritual. The human race is embarrassing. It is embarrassing, and I'm not saying that we're all perfect, but it is embarrassing how people go around treating people. It is embarrassing how people deceive people. It is embarrassing how people abuse physically, mentally, verbally abuse people. It is embarrassing how people lie to people. It is embarrassing. But you let them be an embarrassment and you make sure that you continue to stand strong. And don't be an embarrassment to yourself by allowing them to get to you. Let them mock you, and then until they see you sitting at that table, they won't be mocking you no more. The very same ones that mock you are going to want to sit at your table. The very ones that mock you are going to be copying you, mimicking every single thing that you do. Listen, you have to know your worth and you have to understand your worth. And it's time to start taking the walk seriously. It's time to start taking your purpose seriously. Take it all seriously. Don't ever again let anybody rob you of that. Ever again. Okay? I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.